Welcome back to RTS. And what are we going to do today? Well, we have paper, we have photos, we have sketch ideas. Yes, again, we're going to record the story. My most favorite thing to do on this channel is record the story, and that's probably why it's called RTS, right? Okay, so the prompt for today was, and by the way, we're on day 29. That means 3 more layouts. If I can do them in a row, I would have finished all 31 days of load. And I will tell you, it's been a long time since I've said I've done 31 days of load, because really, it's quite hard to do 31 days of scrapbooking in a row, unless you would take some other things off your plate. And that's not always possible. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to do the next 3 days in a row, and hopefully share them with you. The prompts for today were, all dogs go to heaven, or the battle of the churches. And so I guess these two churches battle back and forth with their church signs about different things. So our scrapped prompt today was to scrap pets, faith, or your outlook on life. And then our technique prompt was to do a church sign style of title on your page, which I think that's very interesting. I'm so excited to see what the other ladies come up with that. Because honestly, there is so many ways you can take that prompt. And so, do I have pets? No. I've done sort of the other two, and I'm not creative enough tonight to do anything with a church sign title. So I thought pets, no. I thought animals, yes. I have horses. Yes, horses. Horse of course. I'm using some horses, and so that's what we're going to do. And before I get to my paper selection, because again, it's going to have to be quick decisions because the creative mojo has left the building. I'm very tired tonight. We've had a long day. We've been gone all day. We have been gone for, I think it was 10 hours. 10? 8 hours? I don't know. We've been traveling a lot today. We're gone. Okay, so I'm tired. And I'm having raccoon. Snap it together, girl. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so yes, horses. That's what we're going to do. And I wanted to show something because this is what I ran into. And I read the prompt very early this morning so I could let my mind think about today. And that's probably not a good thing if you're driving and you're on the road for hours and you're thinking about scrapbooking. You probably should be paying attention to the traffic, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I pulled out this pile this morning. And then when I sat down tonight, I wanted to show something because, when you go on a trip, and I'm going to move these things for a minute. And, when you go on a trip or you have a big event, it doesn't have to be a trip, just a big event, a big party, and you have a stack of photos. And so, yeah, it's impossible to get all these on a 2-page spread. You could maybe do a 4-page spread or do a 2-page spread and page protectors, okay? But my whole angle from this is the stories, okay? When you have a stack of photos, now I'm just going to span some out here, spread them out, okay? And you're thinking, okay, well, I'm going to group them in. Well, we did that on this day, or this is, the carriage ride was here, or the horse carriages were here, or the barn was here, okay? Maybe on your next grouping of photos like this, look at the different things. Instead of putting them in groups, spread them all out on your area. And the best thing is if your family's around, or your little ones, or whoever you traveled with, or whoever the event was about, say, what did you think about this day? What was going on? What made you think about this day? And then automatically stories will appear, and you don't have to do your photos in the grouping you thought. Okay? Just because these are all horses doesn't mean all horses have to go on a page. Or these are all carriages. Okay, that doesn't mean the carriages have to go on a page. Or this is about the barn, okay, where the horses were kept. Okay, that doesn't mean all barn photos have to go in a group. And honestly, sometimes that's what we do, right? Okay, there's a sign, there's a sign, there's a sign, okay, there's a horse and a sign. Okay, there's carriages, there's horses. So you see what I'm saying? You don't have to do it in groups by item. Your horses don't have to go in a pile. Your barn don't have to go in a pile. Your signs, okay? You can mix these all up. No one's going to say you can't. And then what you're going to do is you're going to see what stories appear. And that's what I did for today, okay? Because I knew I had to get a horse in somehow. And so I'm like, I'll be honest with you, when I saw some of these horse photos, I was not inspired to do these, okay? Maybe some other day, but today, no. So I thought, okay, what can I do? So I was looking through this, And then the prompt today was what? Church signs. And what do churches do? Bingo. Okay. So then I got talking to my little one, you know, and people that you travel with, or people in your family, or people that were there, can be your best help when it comes to story ideas. And so then we got to chatting about the system in which these carriages in Charleston have to take their routes. Or we say routes. People say routes, we say routes. And so I thought, okay, well, there was the shanty, or the shack. There's the whole bingo system. Again, the prompt is what? Church sign. That's bingo. Okay. And so I thought, well, I got to get a horse. Okay. Now, did I take a horse on this, a picture of a horse this day? Where's the horsies? Well, I could use that one. Well, that's not really what I want. I want a horse with a carriage. That's why I can't find it. I'm looking for the wrong thing. Okay. So when I took this picture today of this day, okay, there we are. I did not take the picture of this carriage and horse because I was going to be telling a story about the bingo system that they use in Charleston for their carriage routes. Okay. And so some of it was the scrap prompt, which was pets. There's horsies. Some of it was a technique prompt, church sign. What do they do at churches? Play bingo. And then, of course, my little one saying, hey, do you remember what this was all about? And so then we came up with the title, It's Bingo Time. And that's exactly what I'm going to call it. It's bingo time. I mean, it's just amazing how load, and this is not my first rodeo with load. I've done load for many, many times. I can't even tell you. I've lost track. I think I read where one gal on the board said this was her 20th load. I mean, that's amazing. Okay, so the story is going to be about this bingo system and how every carriage in Charleston has to take a different route, and they're told by bingo system style. Right there is actually how they do it. I mean, it's real sophisticated, right? So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be called It's Bingo Time. So that is going to be my photos. That's going to be my story. That's going to be my technique prompt. And I just have to get all the other components together. So I'm thinking, you know, I don't have a color scheme, but I have a theme. I have a mood and a feel. We have horses, we have outdoors, but really, if you think, and if you look at these photos, I'll put this in this way. There's hardly any colors. What do you see? Green, maybe a touch of brown, a touch of red. And so that's what I'm going with. I am going to go with color that will evoke my mood and feel. Okay, so I looked at my photos. I saw green, brown on the horses, and red because this whole carriage that we took was the red barn. You know, everything was in the big red barn. So that's my green, my brown, and my red. So that's going to be the colors that's going to evoke my feeling, my mood and feel for this story. Okay, so let's get cracking because I feel a yawn coming. I don't know. I think I need some caffeine. Oh my. Okay, so of course, you know, I just told you that, and I'll see if I can find it. I can't recommend this company enough. And I'll talk more about, well, actually, in my description box, I will list the actual carriage tour that we did. They were they were rated the top, and I can see why they were. It's called Palmetto Carriage Works, and it's voted the best tour company. It actually is. And if you just look for a big red barn, that's where everything is. Everything's in that big red barn. They take care of their animals so well. And we just had such a wonderful tour. Our guide was just amazing. The whole thing was just, I can see why they're rated the best. They truly were very, very professional. Treated their animals very well. Everything was nice and clean. So, of course, you know, the place was in a big red barn. What's my collection called? The Blue Barn. I didn't plan it that way. It just happened because I was thinking of this blue, red, and brown, and I saw this shanty shack. I don't know. We call them shanties, shacks, whatever they're called. I saw this, and it made me think of this right here. So it just happened that way. So I'm actually going to flip through this pad, and of course my photos are here, and I know. What do I have for a sketch? Honestly, I have this sheet. I haven't dwindled it down because all my 3 photos. Again, I'll move this. I'm sorry, I'm all over the board tonight. That's okay, right? It's all right. It's okay. We're going to scrap anyway. Okay, when I have 2 photos this orientation and 1 this way, this throws me for a loop. So I already know that I'm going to create a grid. And I may cut off some of these. I think I will. I'll cut off some of this dead space on these photos. And then what I will do is I will create a grid with these 3 photos, and I will put a piece of pattern paper right here, and that's going to be the majority of my page, because I don't really want to cut these down, because it's the story. Okay, it's not the design of the page. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I already know. So I really don't even need to look at a sketch, because once I put these in a grid, take a piece of pattern paper right here, which is going to be a scrap, and I mat all of that, and it's going to go on another mat. That's my story. So I'm going to add 3 clusters. So I probably don't even need, I really don't even need a sketch, but this was from yesterday. It was laying here. Okay, so let's get cracking. Okay, so what am I going to do? I think because I don't have a lot of color in here, well, I'll just do it this way. There's my colors. And how do I show a paper pad? Because I'm not used to this. And I'm left-handed, so everything's backwards. So this is how I'm going to do it. Okay? And it's called The Blue Barn. It's by Hobby Lobby. I think it came out, well, I know, it came out a couple years ago. And it's $20. And I'll tell you something about when you're shopping at Hobby Lobby online and you're shopping for papers. When you see the pads that are $19.99, those are usually the ones that's going to be your cardstock and your thicker papers. If you have paper pads that's priced $14.99, that'll be your thinner paper. So that'll give you a little bit. That's not always the case, but more than likely that's the case. So if you're shopping online and you don't want thin papers, go with the higher price pads. Okay. So this has 60 papers. So even if you paid full price at $20, that's still 2/3 cheaper than what we normally pay at 99 cents a sheet. So, of course, you know, if you can get there when they have their paper pads half off, man, you can luck out, but that never really happens. I just have to use a coupon. Sometimes, you know, you make your kids, well, there we go. Sometimes you make your kids and your hubby go with you so you can use more of a coupon. You know what I'm talking about. We all do it. Okay, well, there you go. Now, this is the way the pad is designed, right? So I'm supposed to use this paper this way, if you can see that. I'm not going to. Why? Because if you look at the slats on my shanty, they're going vertical. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my paper from the intended use. Well, there we go. That's how I'm going to do that. I will rip that out right now. And I'm probably moving slow. That's okay. Grab a cup of tea. Hit me on pause. Come back. Cows. Well, too bad that wasn't horses. I guess I could put these one. Yeah, cockle-doodle-doo. That ain't gonna do. Oh, yes. You know, it's floral. Okay, and it's got birds, so that's an outdoor floral. Okay, there's our choices so far. I'm liking that. I'm probably gonna knock everything over. Probably nothing's in frame. I'm probably just doing a terrible job today. Now, see, I would love to do that. And that whole page is why I thought of this whole paper pad. But I'm saving that for the inside. Well, you know what? Could I maybe? Okay, you know what? We got 3 of these. No sense hoarding. No sense waiting for the perfect photos. Right, gals? Use it. And there's green. Okay, that's one green. Someone remember that one. That's cute. Oh, can't get enough of the blue. That makes me think of Colonial Williamsburg. Piggies. Well, we got cows and pigs. You think we'd have horses in here? Wonder if we would. Do you think we could find horses? I mean, I could use a small scrap. That's too bright of a green, but I love that color. Oh, what do we got? Oh, there's the horse. No. Oh, shut the front door. No, this is a case where I will probably cut up a 12 by 12 because of that horse. Or is that a donkey? It don't matter. It's the same thing. Okay, now I'm excited. I got something to... Okay, can we talk about this page? Someone explain this to me. Why do we have roosters on chairs? I mean, it's cute, but honestly, would you let that in your home? It doesn't make any sense to me. What would be something? Comment in the section below what you would use that for. Honestly. You know what? Maybe an auction house. There we go. That's what we'd use it for. Or don't we call roosters Beyonce? Or what's that whole thing about? I don't know. Moving on. Okay. I'm getting tired. Oh, yeah. No. See, that would have been this. If you could use this. No, that's too too sophisticated. We're talking about a shanty and a shack and a bingo system. That's got dinner plates. No. No. And I think we're at the end. Okay. Hope that didn't take too long. But that's a nice collection. I like it. I'm glad it's in my inventory because I will use it. You know, if you live a country life. And guess what? I don't have a green. That's not going to work. Back to the drawing board. Hello. We had a green. Here we go. Okay. That's my papers, and that's how I pick it out. Okay, so I have my papers ready to go. I have my photos here and my sketch ideas if I need any. So then what do I need? Next is my title. And I chose this thicker font because it's round, like it reminds me of bingo. So that's why I'm picking that. It has like a craft look to it. Hopefully that's not too much of a glare. We'll stick it here. And what else do we need? Okay, well, I need to have something quick because this has to get done very soon, like within an hour. Okay, so I thought what I would do is I would pull an embellishment tray from a kit I already made from a couple Simple Stories lines. And so I think this is Simple Stories, We Are Family, and Simple Stories, Bloom and Grow. Yes, and so I have some brown elements, red, and some green, and that's why I thought of that, because I knew they used those type of colors would be in this. And so there's a variety of everything from frames to ribbon to twine, and that's how I build a kit. When I build a kit, when it comes to embellishments, I do a variety. So there is a huge variety of everything. So hopefully something I will need will be at my fingertips. Okay, so the other thing, because I have this whole mood and feel, I got the bingo thing going on. These remind me of bingo night, especially the numbers. Maybe I could do the date with those numbers. Yes, okay, so that's an option. And so then I thought bingo again, and I thought of these Jelly Bean Mix the Media ephemera sets. Do you remember these? I'm sure they're in your inventory. And the reason I thought of it was because of these, because I knew this was part of their ephemera packs. Okay, so I have that, and there's all sorts of things to go with there. Oh, operators check. Oh, wouldn't that be nice to put my, oh, and a customer receipt. Oh, that okay. Inspired. So this bingo, this, and so not only do I have the red color, I have green, and I have blue, and I have cream. Okay, I think these were $5 or $6 a pack, and they're not just all flat. You see how you get buttons and gems, or you know, little jewelry pieces and cork and bottle caps. So worth the money. So that is what I'm going to play with. That's all I'm going to stick with because I have to get a fast page done. I'm not going to whip it out. But these right here, these three things inspire me for my mood and feel, along with these papers. Oh, sale price. Oh, oh wow, yeah, yes. What do we got? I'll keep moving, Janet. See how I get distracted? But it's all fun. Oh, there's a red. What would be the chances I would go through something and I would find a horse? Oh, see, and this is what I mean. See how they were to remember? Oh, there's even a playing card. Just fun ephemera. If you can find them, I'd pick them up. It's an older inventory. But, see, there's another bingo if I chose that red. Okay, I need to stop there. Okay, I will be back with a finished page, so hang on. Okay, I'm back with my finished page, and I can't say it was a fast page. I honestly cannot say it was a fast page because I struggled on this. And I'll tell you why after looking back now. I think the reason I struggled is because I did not have a sketch. I had a sketch idea page laying there, but I didn't use it. It was buried under something, and I think that's why I struggled. I just did not have a direction. I knew I wanted to do these photos in a grid, and I did, but all this other stuff, huge struggle for me. And of course, I probably was tired. I was on a deadline, but I still winged it. I still got it done. Will I say this is my favorite page? No, but I will say I recorded a story, and I will say I must have done something right, because when I showed it to my little girl this morning, she went right to the journaling. So when you show a page and they go right to the journaling, then you know you did something right, because all this other stuff, it doesn't matter, right? When you think about it, when you're recording the story, if someone wants to go in and they dig a little deeper into your story and they're reading it, you did something right. So what I did was I took my 3 photos, I cut them down, put them in a grid, and I put it on that plank as a mat. And then I cut that horsey. And what I did was to maximize this 12 by 12 sheet. This is what I had. And, you know, I only have a few of these, so I don't want to just waste it. And so this horsey was right down in this area. And I only had 2 on this whole page. So I cut it across here. And then I knew I would still be left with this that I can play and create with. And so I maximized that. I didn't just haphazardly cut into it and the whole page is gone. So I took another wood veneer horse and I put there. So there's my visual triangle. And I just happened to luck out. I have a section of wood veneer that's just for little barnyard animals, and he was in there, so that worked out. And I took some of this Jelly Bean ephemera, which these packs just loaded with stuff. So if you can find them somewhere, you know, some stores will have them in older product lines. It's by Jelly Bean Soup. They're called Mix the Media, and I think there's four different colors. Worth the money. And sometimes you can get them for on the cheap because it is an older product. And so then I just took some of those pieces, especially the red and the green, same thing up here, because I was so tired. And whatever I did in one, I completely did in the other. You can see red, red, green, green, receipt, receipt, enamel dots, a star, star, and I put in a couple words, Sunday and Tuesday. I did the exact same thing. These are just a smaller scale, because I was just too tired to think. And then my title was originally going to say it's bingo time. And I took these because they reminded me of bingo balls. And I put them in this haphazard way because, you know, that's what bingo balls do. You know, they go up in the air and that type of thing. And when I did, it didn't look plain, but it just really wasn't what I was going for. So in my wood veneer, I found the word every day. And the reason that came about is because I had pulled this horse. So then, of course, a date. I put the date in the wood veneer. 17. Added a compass here with the flare. And to make my banner, I didn't have green. So I had this in that kit I had pulled. And I just put 3 rows of this on white cardstock or whatever color. And I used my hexagon, cut fishtails in there. And that's how I got my green. Because I had green here and green here. So, did it all come together quick? No. Is it a finished story? Yes. So there we go. I can't say it was a fast page. No. I can't even say it's a favorite page. Ooh, do I say that? But again, it's recording the story. Nothing complicated about this. I did, again, take these craft photo corners and I did that so everything could be in the focus, and it must have worked because when I handed it to my daughter, she went right to the journaling. And so I purposely put this in white because of the white flare and then the white board, which emphasizes my story. So I guess that would be one thing I would say. If you don't know what to do, once again, look at what you already did in your clusters, what you already did in your title, and somehow marry it all together. And then if you're kind of stuck, like for my journaling, I didn't know. And I thought, well, what do I have going on? I had this and this. And so then I automatically knew to do my journaling in white. So that's how it all came together. And so that means I am day 29 for day 29. And so 2 more days and I will finish them. If it's the last thing I do for this month, I will finish them. Okay, so I think that's the end of the page. Come back and see what I do tomorrow, and come back to RTS because you never know what we're going to learn. Bye.